3, 2, 1, and we're gonna run.
Both at the same time?
Yeah, on go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Uh-oh. What is happening? What's going on with mine? Oh, you know what? Here, stop.
We spent most of the time in lab on this project developing a fast wall falling behavior so that we could just move faster than any of the other teams. And if they tried to catch us, they would likely get stuck or get caught somewhere.
If you look at our boat right now, it's traveling around the wall, but it is doing some weird thing where it's wobbling a lot from side to side, and that was just due to the speed it was traveling at and the quick turns that it was taking. But it actually helped us behave a little bit more erratically and made our GPS coordinate harder to see, which was nice.
Yep. And when the boat starts wobbling, the IR sensors pick up the water, causing the boat to turn even harder left. So it's kind of a positive feedback loop where once it starts wobbling, it'll continue to wobble and just causes it to rotate or to circle the pool in a very erratic way.
Us as the students didn't really know what the TA's plan was, so we kind of had to come up with all these contingency plans.
Right.
And kind of like when and if the GPS kind of failed, because we weren't sure what you were going to do, so we weren't sure if you were going to sit under the cloud and kind of like sit and wait for us to come and kind of sweep you out. And in that case, we had to come up with like plans where if we were in the cloud, what would happen? If you were in the cloud and we weren't in the cloud, what would happen? What if we were both in the cloud, what would happen? And then what if we were both outside of the cloud, which is kind of like that thing. So it's just a lot of like trying to come up with different solutions to a problem we didn't really know.
One thing our boat was particularly good at was actually avoiding other boats once they got stuck against the wall.
And when they found us, we were usually going too fast for them to catch us. And when we were stuck against the wall, our GPS would be hidden by the wall, so usually they wouldn't be able to find us easily.
Despite this, when we got stuck and we were moving slow and they could still see our GPS position, often they would catch us because we were moving slow and it was fairly random.
Problems was kind of the connection between the boat and the GPS. Because you guys were moving so quickly, we kind of had issues with our GPS would send us a location, but then by that time when we received it and were ready to move out to that location, you guys had already moved on. So it was kind of a huge thing to kind of shift and overcome.
Sort of assumed that you guys would be moving very, very quickly. And so what we did to combat that was we decided to lead you. So what we did was we already had code that Justin, I don't know who implemented it early on, Justin implemented code early on to track our own speed, to calculate our own speed. So we already had that code. So we could take your GPS and calculate a speed from you. So we took your heading and your speed and fed that into a sub-VI. And what that sub-VI did was it looked at your boat and it took the center point of the boat and then it drew a line through the pool straight forward from your boat. And then along that line, it calculated a distance that we should be leading you by.
This team probably had the best tactic to catch us in that they took our velocity and led us. And they actually were pretty fast and got some good pursuits, but they still had the same issues as everyone else, where once we disappeared under the edge or under the cloud, they couldn't see our GPS.
Additionally, in many scenarios, we were too fast to catch, but occasionally we did get stuck because we didn't have any obstacle avoidance or anything. We were just wall following. And occasionally, because of this, we also hit them, which was bad for us. So if we did this again, we would probably turn on obstacle avoidance.
As you can see right here, when we go under the cloud, the team effectively doesn't know what to do. And we realized that later that most of the teams actually didn't implement a good behavior for under the cloud. So an effective thing for us to do might have been to just hide under the cloud somewhere